Well, I think we started well, scored the goal. We were ahead twice, and unfortunately, we didn't manage to win the game. You could see in the second half that we looked tired. We were late for a few things. I looked a bit of cohesion. It's true that we make so many changes, and you expect that to happen. We're all very happy because we are where we want to be.
Yeah, qualification is obviously the most important thing. Do you learn something as a manager with all the changes that you have to make or want to make?
Well, because we played a lot of games, we're going to play a lot of games. Those players are going to have international football as well, and there was some players that they deserve some football as well, because they are a big part of us. So I'm very happy that I give them the chance.
Yeah, a goal for Zinchenko, 2 assists for Raheem. These things are all nice for a manager, but of course Raheem also now picks up the yellow card and can't play the first leg of the quarterfinal.
Yeah, that's a shame. Obviously, he's not going to be available for the weekend as well, but very good for Alex as well, and some individuals that haven't played that many minutes. So really happy.
Some frustrations about the manner of the 2 goals conceded. There's some gaps at the back.
Yeah, no. It was a lot of things to improve.
Yeah, well, that's the nature of the coach. You don't know who you'll play yet. I'm sure you'll be told as soon as we are.
Watching now. For sure, we're going to have to go to Madrid. Two very different teams, but we are where we want to be, and let's see.
Yeah, and a first leg here, which makes a difference, good and bad.
It is different. It is a difference of the competition. Let's see. So we're going to have to be very strong home and away anyway, regardless who will play.
Good luck next time.
Thank you very much.
Thanks so much.
Raheem Sterling alongside us at the desk. Raheem, a couple of assists, a start for you as well. How was that?
Yeah, no, it was nice. Should have had a goal as well, but no, it's nice to be out there and nice to contribute to the team.
It's been a while. We haven't seen you get a regular run in the side. So how, when the manager told you that you were starting, are you thinking this is really like my opportunity to show what I can do again?
No, not really. Not to show what I could do. It's just really just again play my game and be dynamic. I tried to do that, and sometimes you need that little bit of rhythm as well. But tonight it was just one of those ones that I just go and do me.
And after the sorry,
is it a case, Raheem, now like the league's it's a long way off for Arsenal now with the league, but anything can happen in the Champions League, and we still don't know who you're playing next. Is it a case now of just getting the group together and going, right, we've got 10 games to go, we've got this wonderful Champions League run, sticking together, it's been a bit hit and miss without the striker, but is it a case of senior players like yourself getting together and for the running and really having a go at it?
Yeah, when you have especially a leader like we do with the manager, he's got the boys on a tight-knit group. You can feel it. That from the minute one I got here, that's something I can sense is the top club mentality. And yes, we are a few points behind, but again, there's all different circumstances. We don't get too much into that, but I think with all the difficult circumstances, I think the boys have done really well, But it's just again the last bit of the season to give it a right push.
Can I also ask you about the young lads, Ethan and Miles? They've been fantastic. Do you feel like now you're in the situation, you're the older statesman, you're helping nurture them through? Because they've been brilliant as well, both of them, haven't they?
Yeah, no, one thing I would say with the two of them, they are very, very mature, not just in their gameplay, but off the field as well, in terms of how they prepare. It's kind of like senior pros, to be honest with you. You've seen them on a day-to-day basis, and it's great to see how serious they take their craft, and that's all you want from young players, is how serious they take their craft, and that's why the managers put so much trust in them.
Did you see a bit of yourself in them almost, or when you were that age?
I'll tell you one thing, I wasn't in the gym as much as them in terms of their preparation. They're top, as I keep saying, that's what you want in and around the group, and I think the senior boys help them a lot, but they've got that drilled into them.
I'm going to ask you, how are you feeling? So how did you think you played tonight? Did you think that was as good as you've played in an Arsenal shirt? You seemed to burst down that right-hand side. You bounced off 2 players and then pick out a perfect cross.
Yeah, as I said, it's a decent performance for myself. I know what I'm capable of. And sometimes you just, again, the mentality you want, you just want to be playing. But again, you're at a top club with top players. You just got to wait for your moment. And that's what I'm doing here. I'm still faithful that I can... I've still got a big part to play, and I just need to keep working. And when my minutes come, I just need to try and take it.
It is difficult, though, isn't it? I mean, as you become a senior player, mature player, when you play, that's when you have to make it count, don't you? In those moments.
Yeah. Again, you can only control what you can control. Sometimes I haven't had as much minutes as I would have liked, but I've had the opportunities, and it's just down to myself to keep knocking at the door. And again, I still believe within myself that I've got a lot to play here, and if it's 10 minutes, 20, 45 or a start, I just need to be ready and try and help the team as much as I can.
Yeah.
And you know, when you're knocking on the door, do you physically knock on the door and speak to the manager? Do you actually go and talk to him and say, look, boss, I really want to be part of this particular team or this particular game, I want to be part of it more? How does it sort of manifest itself for you?
No, as I said, with a leader like Mikel, he is not something that I wanted to be knocking at his door physically. You know, he's the one in charge. All I can do, as I keep saying, is what I could do, and that's either on the training field or here. So it's down to me and to keep trying to push and have that in his thought process.
It's great to see you back and good to see you on the pitch today. Really brilliant performance as well. Thank you so much for joining us.
Well done tonight.
Well done, Geezer.
Cheers.
Brilliant.
Cheers, Raheem. See you soon. For the quarter-final lineup, as we can see, Arsenal will play either Real Madrid or Atleti. PSG will play Aston Villa, confirmation of that. Barcelona against last season's finalist Borussia Dortmund on the other side of the bracket. And what a mouth-watering tie. A repeat of the 2010 Champions League final. It's Bayern against Inter. That makes up the quarter-final lineup. Just one name still to go in that bracket. Of course, tomorrow, don't forget, we bring you the thrilling conclusion.
Thank you very much, Resh. Yes, Alex is next to me. Did you enjoy that?
Well, not with the result, obviously, but it's always nice to be on the pitch. I mean, the most important is that we went through, and looking forward to the next games, you know.
Yeah, nice to score. Lovely goal.
It's always nice to score, but like I said, the result is always will be in the first place. So it was also for me a special feeling, you know, to play against my former team, where I've been as well. Okay, obviously on loan, but still, you know, I really love that place. I really love that club, and the people, the fans, you know, the way I received that love and warm welcome while I was there. It's special for me. So I just want to wish them all the best. They're an amazing team and club. So I really believe that they have a massive future.
And it explains why you didn't really want to celebrate too much, even though it was a lovely strike. A strange game to play for you, but also a nice game to play in the middle of the pitch. You don't always get to play there.
Well, I wouldn't say it's a completely new position for me, because all my life I was playing there, and especially also in the national team I used to play a lot over there. But obviously at this high level, you know, at Arsenal, it's different demands. You know, I just said in the halftime, I just said to the lads like Martin, Declan, I said, unbelievable how much. Now I realize how much you guys running, you know, every 3 days. So this is the demands. This is the level.
Yeah, and it's obviously a big hope, a big objective now for the season. I know you have other hopes, but in this competition, who knows? You can go and lift a trophy.
Well, God knows, to be honest, because I already had a good and in the same time bad experience, you know, in the Champions League, where obviously a lot of people were saying about who is the favorites, who is not, but on the pitch is completely different thing, because you never know in this, especially in this competition, when you can be punished by any team.
And you don't know yet, we don't know yet who you'll play, because it's gone to extra time in Madrid. Any preference?
Well, I don't know, to be honest. At this stage, I think every team is world-class level, and I'm just looking forward for it.
We'll be watching. We wish you well. Thank you. Well played tonight.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
And Martin and Joe are going to give me their reaction now. Martin, what did you make of it? Because it was a much changed side, as I said. So many players had a chance to just make a bit of an impact with so much left of the season as well, and in a game where perhaps the pressure was off because they knew that they'd done all the hard work in the first half. What did you make of it?
Yeah, I think it was a reasonable professional performance from Arsenal. 6 changes to start with, 5 then substitutions. Zinchenko was a player I was watching with great interest. You know, I know he's a player that is highly thought of behind the scenes, and I thought he put a good performance in today. Interested in his role. He played quite deep in the midfield, but then went forward into the 10 and then grabbed his goal, and that's all he can do. Sterling was another one that we were, you know, anxious to see. I thought in spells, I thought probably Sterling's goal, the involvement for the goal, was probably the best bit of football we've seen from him since he's been at Arsenal. And we're now at the latter stages of the season, so it's a long time coming. But all in all, I think Arsenal more than happy into the next round, get that out of the way, everyone's had a few minutes, and look forward to Chelsea at the weekend, because wanting to be here again next year in the Champions League is priority for Arsenal right now.
Was it a sort of training session for some of these players who we don't normally see, or do you think Mikel Arteta saw enough to be, to be able to take them seriously as we get to the latter stages of the season?
Yeah, it certainly wasn't a training game. Listen, there's opportunities. Kieran Tierney coming in for the first time in many, many months to play for Arsenal. Zinchenko the same, and they all acquitted themselves very, very well. Zinchenko in particular, and Sterling I thought was very, very good tonight. And I think for this club it was just a case of getting this game out of the way, regrouping. That there's been a drop off in the league. There's no hiding from that. The players and the manager won't do that. Liverpool's probably definitely too far away, so they've got to secure the Champions League place for next year. But how exciting for the club. We don't know who they're going to get yet. Real Madrid or Atletico Madrid. Either way, like I said before, now I stand by it. This team and this club can beat anybody over two legs. There's a lot of holes in them, in their squad at the moment. They haven't got a recognised striker, a lot of injuries, things that going well. But sometimes that can galvanise you. Sometimes something will click, Martin, won't it? There'll be like a moment, and then they'll go, right, lads, we got an opportunity here.
But I think to win as they did, 7-1, 9-3 overall, emphatic the way that they've done that, and that will ripple across Europe. So, Arsenal make for quite a formidable opponent in the next round. And I know it's either, it's going to be Real Madrid potentially or Atletico Madrid. They make for difficult opponents, but so do Arsenal. They'll be respected. And then one by one, these players start coming back. Saka apparently is quite close. I mean, that's going to be a big decision made him. Martinelli available. So things start to turn around. It's a different competition. You can box it off now and really look forward to it. These are big nights, and the players will really be up for that next round.
Yeah, and they've been up for it all the way through, haven't they? They've got such a great record here at home. Let's take a look at how it all began with Alexander Zinchenko as well. And it's interesting because we've seen him play in the left-back position at Manchester City, but here he played further up as well, and that also in and of itself provides options.
Yeah, I remember talking to Jack Grealish about him a few years ago, and he said what a good player he was, and I thought, let me have a close look at him. He's a very, very good footballer. It's been difficult for him to get into this team, but this might, for number 10, you're receiving the ball, and the balance, and then that touch there, bang, opens it up. He uses the defender, and he just whips it around. The keeper's got no chance. It's a beautiful strike.
And
it's got this ability.
I think it's an example of the modern day player, how adaptable they are, how flexible they are. You go in there to even think that you can do that. But to then pull that off, the execution is top class. But he's been a midfield player for a lot of his career. He's gone back to fullback. Maybe now that is going to be a position that he plays in a little bit more for Arsenal. Starts in that midfield.
OK, well, let's take a look at the other Arsenal goal then. This was for 2-1. Declan Rice scoring. Raheem Sterling with a fantastic assist for this.
That's beautiful, isn't it? I mean, this is Raheem there. Ben White takes him away, so you leave dribblers alone. He can get something, and that's a beautiful cross. He sort of stunts it. He just... Look, Ben White takes the defender away, right, 1-on-1. I'll deal with you. He breezes past him, goes past the second, and it's a great...
you saw that explosion, coming to life from a player. You've only got so long in your career. Make it happen. And he just burst out of the blocks there. And then this man obviously keeps developing, gets in the box, and he just made that look so simple, just tucks it away nicely.
How impressed have you been with Declan Rice? Because it is a question that Mikel Arteta asked of him. I want to see more goals, and he's starting to sort of get in the right places to do that.
Yeah, I mean, I've been so impressed with Declan Rice. I think in that holding position, I think he's as good as anyone in world football. But he's got more strings to his bow. He can, and particularly in this period for Arsenal, Martin, where they're going to need him to run forward and scoring goals, he's delivering. When they'll need him to be the anchor in there and the one who can block up the opposition's attacks, he can do that. He can do everything.
Yeah, I mean, whether he sits in a pair, like you think, okay, is he going to be a 6? And I keep thinking like the when we get to the end picture, because we're not there yet with Arsenal, which position will he be in? Will he be in a 6? But I think what they'll do is eventually it'll be two players that share that, because he wants to get forward. He's got an incredible engine to do that. He can finish, but he can also get back. And I think the goal Arsenal concede sort of shows that up a little bit. Jorginho gets caught in a situation which Declan Rice would have dealt with that no problem at all. So
the game changed a little, didn't it, when he went off the pitch?
Well, as much as I like seeing him getting forward, and he's flew forward there, and he's left a hole, and he's left Zinchenko on his own. Jorginho on his own, and then they get done. But okay, Jorginho there should just go with the runner. And it's having that that pace in that area to clean up, and Arsenal then it's difficult because it's a bit ragged. It's a different back four, and they've got undone there. And credit to the finish, by the way. It was a fantastic finish.
Yeah, wonderful finish. I mean, because he's out of his feet. He's had to dig it out. Perisic is 36 now. He's been doing it for years and years. A top player, and he's still going, infecting the games.
OK, well, let's take a look at the second goal in the game, actually. And Arsenal will probably be very disappointed to concede and actually lose. Of course, they've won the tie and they did that emphatically.
Yeah.
But just for this game alone, just to concede this goal.
Yeah, it'll frustrate you as a player because you work hard. You want to win games of football. Ultimately, in the bigger picture, it doesn't mean anything. But getting the turnover there, and then like Martin said, similar to the first goal, it's just that reaction. It's a beautiful finish, having said that, isn't it? I mean, look here, when you're trying to build out, and then the recovery runs have got to be better, but look at that for a finish.
Yeah, great finish. It is. Classy finish, wasn't it? But Jorginho there again. It's just having that picture, isn't it? But they've been out of the team for quite long periods, so we shouldn't expect them to come on and pick things up that quickly. I mean, the youngsters have done it. Jorginho has been a Ballon d'Or in the running for the Ballon d'Or, so good quality player, but he lost it there, and then you get punished.